Before to start, thanks to our sponsor. I'm Alessio, as you already know. And yeah, Robert is one of the sponsors, and I'm proud of that because it's a great event. Yeah. All right, okay. So I think that everyone uses AI assistants right now, no? How many of you? 1, 2, 3, 4, well, too many. Okay, so what if I tell you that right now our AI assistants are trapped? And so what I mean is trapped. They are isolated from external tools like Jira, Sentry, GitHub, and so on. They don't have access to real-time project context, and so requires manual copy and pasting. Now, if you have to develop your ticket, you have to copy and paste the Jira ticket in your AI assistant, and then it can generate better code. So we have a way actually to connect our AI assistants to these external tools, and it's through the MCP, Model Context Protocol. It's an open source standard, an open standard developed by Anthropic in November 2024. And it's a tool that can give our AI assistant superpower. Now you can have much more efficiency. It creates a common language. So before you had no MCP, if you want to connect your LLM to Jira, maybe you have to create your own applications, handling all the connections, it will be a mess. And if your manager asks, hey, please, can we add another tool? You need another week just to do that, if you are lucky. With the MCP instead, it's different. Now you have this MCP client, MCP server. The MCP server is is connected to the external tool, and it exposes some tools. What are the tools? Let's do an example. The MCP server can be, for example, a file system. One tool can be create a file, the other one can be rename a file, and so on. The MCP client is in charge to maintain the connection with the MCP server and handle all this boring stuff. And the LLM can use, thanks to the MCP client, knows what are the available tools, and based on the user request, can call these tools. Some examples. Jira, again, I said, you can say, hey, I'm working on ticket 1, 2, 3, 4. Please upload all the context and generate the code. It can be super useful. Sentry, if your manager is very mad at you because you have a bug in production and you caused it. With Sentry, with the MCP and Sentry, you can try to find the fix as soon as possible, and it helps a lot. We tried it. And you can connect even to your database, so you can understand the schema. If you are new, maybe you can investigate more of how it was done, or if you want to insert fixture data or test data to your database, you can do this via natural code. But the example that I want to give you today, I think I'm super excited because we did this and it works super well. It's the AI acceptance test driven design using Playwright MCP. All of us know what's Playwright, of course, but for those of you who don't know, it's basically a tool that tries to simulate what the user will do in the front end, and we usually write the end-to-end test with it. No? We know how painful it is to maintain, especially in the long term. What I did, I said, okay, let's connect this Playwright MCP to my assistant. It's connected to Jira, so it has all the context. We have now the GitHub MCP as well, so we can connect it there as well. And for my PR, I always write the acceptance test to test my changes and check that everything is fine. So what I do, I usually do the same process that I do. And here it's a simple one. Open the local URL of Rover, goes to careers engineering, check if we have the text we are looking for software crafters like you, and take a screenshot. By the way, we are really looking for software crafters like you. So if I leave you a QR code, and if you're interested to work with pets, it's that. We have pet in the office. You can apply. Nice. So now that I just prompt, hey, please do the acceptance test of PR number 1, 2. And it does. The first thing that it does is, okay, retrieve the context, what are the acceptance tests, and so on. And then, thanks to the tools that are available in the Playwright MCP, like Open Browser, Evaluate JavaScript, click a button, you have different tools. The first one that you have is navigate to the URL careers engineering. Yes, and it asks you, do you want to proceed? That's nice because you can check what's it doing behind the scenes. Or if you don't want to see anymore that specific tool, you can say, hey, don't ask again and go ahead. And the other one, it's evaluate JavaScript and evaluate if we actually have that text and if we want to proceed. At the end, it leaves a comment in our PR, so we maintain track of what happened, and it says, oh, I opened that, I navigated, I confirmed the text, and I did a screenshot for you. All is fine. And we actually have the screenshot because we don't trust our LLM that much. So we need proof, and this one proof, and we can see that actually we have that text there. Some final consideration. This is fantastic, but we have to make sure that it is in the right environment. For example, we have to update AgentsMD and ClaudeMD to have more information about our company, because sometimes, between colleagues, we always talk, hey, create a booking, but the LLM doesn't know what's create a booking. So we have to explain all this stuff, and when we find this obstacle, we have to make sure to explain to it. And then manual testing is still important because at the end, we can maybe be more focused on edge cases. We can be more focused on UI, UX, if we have any problem there. This can be useful for example, for the future. Of course, it will be maybe it will be great in all these. But right now, it has we run out of context. We have problems, so you have to make sure to use it for the right situations. And that's it. As promised, the rover QR code directs you immediately to the engineering page, and that's my LinkedIn if you want to connect, have fun, talk to me about your day, or ask me any question. And if you have any question, I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, so not all MCPs are created equal, and I've been working with a few of them. As you said, Playwright is a really good one. Do you have any list of really great MCPs, or maybe not that great ones? Like, for example, the Postman one. I don't know if you've played with it, but it's not really that great because it takes up a lot of context and all of that. So, is there some recommendations from you beyond Playwright?
That's an interesting question. Like what I always have in my stack, like when I work, it's Jira, like Sentry, because if we have bug. The GitHub MCP, I think it's pretty new because before we were using bash commands to interact with GitHub and then Playwright MCP to do the test. Other than that, like for example, we are using Django, and most of the time, you have you can use the shell plus to run all the commands. So most of the time we don't have the B1. And if I have to be honest, I create a lot of MCP server by myself because it's pretty easy. It's like building an API, so like a normal server. So I like to do it by myself and do maybe more stuff. For example, I have my own notes. So like I have this MCP that when I ask something, it immediately knows like how I write code, how I usually write comments, and it takes this context to be more, me in that cases. Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of MCP. That's the problem, I think. Like we have to pick the right one. Postman one, I tried. They can improve. And we can run out of context very easily. That's a big problem. And that's why sometimes I like to handle it by myself like with the MCP. Thank you.
Thank you.